Hello and welcome to the next episode of Being Well, the show that brings consciousness and awareness to the world and wants to make a positive contribution to humanity. My name is Marianne and I will be your host. Who doesn't want to have beautiful, radiant skin? But what are the key secrets for getting younger looking skin for longer? In our first visit for today, we are off to Medizen Clinics in the UK, where beauty expert Antonia Mariconda will be discussing hydrofacial treatments. After that, it's time for Cooking with Aliyah, and she's going to show us how to make Moroccan steamed chicken. And then it is yoga time. Yoga is such an excellent tool for strengthening and stretching the body. So today, yoga instructor Leslie Fightmaster is going to take us through a Vinyasa morning routine. And then in our final segment for today, we're going to be taking a look at our third chapter of our 5-part series called Born to Communicate. And we'll be taking a look at the research that's been done. How do babies learn language as soon as they are born? Well, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. A facial treatment that does it all in one visit. Exfoliating, peeling, stimulating, hydrating, and that all in one go. Sounds like the hydrofacial treatment is the ideal treatment for everyone. Take a look at this.
Talking about younger looking skin and radiant skin, which seems to be an issue with so many consumers, how do you get younger looking skin for a longer period of time? What are the key secrets?
Okay, well, key secrets. First of all, don't believe what you read. Most of the over-the-counter preparations you can buy, whether it's department store or pharmacy, bargain basement or silly prices, is all based upon the same principle, an emulsion of oil and water. Sits on your skin, makes it feel smooth and soft, but actually adds very little benefit. So the principle of something like the hydrofacial is it's actually taking away the stuff that's built up on your skin over a period of time and actually allowing the skin to function normally.
So what are the mistakes that we are making and assuming we're doing it right, but actually we're doing it wrong?
I think ultimately the skin is an organ like any other. If you want to look after your liver, you don't drink. If you want to look after your lungs, you don't smoke. If you want to look after your skin, what you don't want to do is put a layer of a foreign substance on there which prevents its normal barrier function. Your skin will look after itself if you look after it.
We're hearing so much about hydrofacial. Tell us a bit more about this amazing treatment.
Well, the principle is that your skin, as it naturally turns over, the dead skin cells flake away and disappear in the form of what we know as household dust. And the more stuff you put onto your skin, the more it gets stuck down. So the hydrofacial will remove all those dead skin cells, and very much like raking the moss out of an old lawn, you actually stimulate the skin to function in a normal way.
So just give us a brief rundown, Dr. Eccleston, of how the hydrofacial works.
Basically, first of all, you want to, in any skin, remove all the dead skin cells. So it's an exfoliating technique.
This is draining away and pushing everything to your lymph nodes.
Secondly, once you've done that and exposed the deeper layer, you can then add a peeling agent which will allow the remainder of the dead skin cells to come away harmlessly and expose the deeper layers ready for the next part of the treatment. You then get the antioxidants in, which are essential, if you like, vitamins for the skin, which allow the skin to not only replicate itself but protect itself.
This won't literally peel your skin over, and it really helps to brighten the complexion as well.
And then you can go in with a hydrating effect, and lastly using an LED or light emitting diode, which we now know is scientifically proven to stimulate the function of the skin cells and allow faster turnover of those cells and therefore a younger, healthier looking skin.
This is going to help to stimulate collagen.
And if you have the treatment once a month, long term, it actually does reverse the aging process. Enhances collagen, enhances elastin, and makes your skin grow plumper, thicker, and more lustrous.
I can't believe how lovely and glowy it looks, and it feels really soft.
It's safe, there's really no downside to it. It's suitable for men and women, suitable for dry skin types. It's very good for patients with acne, with photoaging, and it's also complementary to any other treatment patients may be having. Laser hair removal, fillers, toxin injections for lines and wrinkles. So it really is a treatment for everyone.
Don't tell me that's what you've extracted from my skin.
So this is the cloudy, murky.
Wow. Shocking. Well, thank you so much. That's been absolutely the most relaxing and lovely experience I've had for a long time.
I'm still a Nivea person, so an old-fashioned. For me, in my opinion, it's not bad. If you want to stop the time and you're in your 50s, so why not?
I think it's become also an addiction for a lot of people. You know, when they start with the boobs, then the lips, then the Botox.
The first treatment I want to talk about is 3D lipo. What 3D lipo does is it combines a number of different technologies in order to shape the body and tighten the skin. These include radiofrequency, ultrasound cavitation and cryolipolysis. The winner of The Apprentice, Dr. Leah Totten, has even got one in her clinic. A recent survey showed that a lot of women are really concerned about pigmentation on their skin, almost as much as about lines and wrinkles. The problem has been in the past though, that products that target pigmentation contain ingredients like hydroquinone, which has been quite controversial. SkinCeuticals have just brought out a new product called Advanced Pigment Corrector. What this does is target stubborn pigmentation in the skin, but without the risks associated with prescription products like hydroquinone. Adult acne is on the rise, so if like me you suffer from occasional breakout or you have more severe acne, then something like Dermalux LED phototherapy might be right for you. The treatment is minimally invasive but still very effective, and it's not just good for skin conditions like acne, it's also fantastic for anti-aging.
But it's not just cosmetic surgery and aesthetics that are the prevail of looking young today. Popular procedures such as cosmetic tattooing is now on the increase. We've come along to Harley Street to speak to Karen Betts, one of the UK's leading cosmetic artists. Karen, so tell us, why has cosmetic tattooing become so popular now?
Because it's in the media and a lot of soap stars, celebrities are having the treatments done, and it's become a really on-trend treatment at the moment to have.
Tell us a bit more about the areas of the face and body that cosmetic tattooing can actually help enhance and ultimately look younger.
One of the main things is eyebrows, so we can actually tattoo eyebrows for people who's lost eyebrows or overplucked eyebrows. Lips, so if somebody just wants a small amount of colour in there or even wants to have the lips enlarged, we can reconstruct and put colour in there. We can put colour around the eyes, so in the morning your eyes could look a little bit piggy. It can just give them that more oomph to your eyes, that they look, you feel awake in the morning. We did Jill's eyebrows, we drew them on to start with and they were a little bit too thick for her. So we thinned them out and now she loves the shape. So we looked at some colours as well. We've got a lighter colour and a darker colour, and we're going to do two colours in there just to make them look more natural. I'm going to do tiny little hair strokes. So when you see me tattooing, you'll see me do tiny little strokes, and I'll reinforce those strokes, and then I'll add a few more in there, and we're just building it up so it just looks like a natural brow. It just looks like there's hairs in there. You'll not even tell the difference from their own natural hairs.
How long are the results of good cosmetic tattooing?
If you go to a reputable technician, you'll get a good 12 to 18 months out of the treatment.
How do we find a good, reputable practitioner for cosmetic tattooing?
I'm the owner of Nouveau Contour Training Academy, and all our students will visit us and do training for roughly around about 12 months. So they come into the academy and then they go away and do case studies. So basically you need to be looking at a technician's portfolio, and you need to be looking at the work, and you need to go and have a good thorough consultation with a technician.
I imagine, Karen, then a lot of women and men who are considering cosmetic tattooing probably wondering if it's painful. So does it hurt?
That's everybody's fear, does it hurt? But if I tweezed your eyebrows or threaded your eyebrows, that hurts far more. So the answer to that is we make it really comfortable. We put some creams on there and it's really comfortable. So I would say it's not really painful.
Absolutely fantastic. It just looks so different.
Do you want to get a
Can't
closer
believe
look?
it. Yeah. Wow. Wow, that's amazing.
So Karen, tell us about the Katie Piper Foundation. We know you have a massive involvement with them. Tell us about the work you do.
I became an ambassador of the foundation 3 or 4 years ago, and I do a lot of their burns ladies who come to me I'll either do their eyebrows, the lips, their eyes, or even I will tattoo the breast, because some people may have been burnt in these areas, and I work through their charity, so it's for medical reasons as well as cosmetic.
Well, that's quite fantastic. Well, if you're considering cosmetic tattooing, this is the lady to come and see, and she'll leave a mark in more ways than one.
If my boyfriend bought me Botox for Valentine's Day, I probably wouldn't be very happy.
I would get pretty offended, I would say. I'm like, what do you want to change about me?
I don't think there is anything that I'd change.
It would make me sort of angry, but then I'll be like, got a voucher now, I might as well use it.
Looking good isn't all needles, scalpels and skincare. Sometimes you've got to break into a sweat.
It is so important to exercise. And do you know what? You don't need a gym membership, just take it outside, especially when there's some sunshine. A skip rope and a pair of trainers will get you nice and fit. Regular exercise increases your lean muscle mass, which creates a really good, strong posture. That's got to be good. The exercise releases positive hormones like serotonin, and these are our own Prozac, the feel-good biochemicals. And as we know, feeling good is looking good. It's important to do something, and it doesn't really matter what it is, but regular exercise is better than doing nothing. Because if you don't, you could end up in a place like this.
I've heard all about this amazing salon. Should we go and check it out for our guys tonight, get ourselves all gorgeous?
Let's go for it.
Come on then.
Hi, Alexandra. Hi, Denny. What is it about hair that can sometimes make us look so old?
Choosing the right hairstyle for their face shape, choosing the right color for their face tone, and also keeping the hair conditioner-wise really healthy and shiny.
But if we want to keep our hair long but still look young, how can we achieve that?
Having the hair long, it's tricky if we have a really fine density hair. So what we do here at Michael Johnny's, we have the great hair extension system, which calls multisonic hair great length system. And what the machine does is produces ultrasound waves. The ultrasound waves, they come through the gun, and that's how we use 100% human hair on the client's natural hair, and the machine does the bonds malleable, and that's how we add that hair extension hair to the client's natural hair.
How long would the extensions last?
They last between 3 and up to 6 months, depends on your natural hair growth.
And how much would that cost?
From 150 up to £1,000.
I'm just going to show you a few tips and tricks. So you just want your skin to be healthy, glowing. I'm going to start applying on Adrian's skin this luxurious, rich moisturizer by SkinCeuticals. It has to be light and easy to use, easily absorbed, so your foundation goes on easily. Next product I'm going to use, I'm in love at the moment with Dior's Radiance product. You literally just put this on your cheek and cheek, just start in the middle of the skin, face, and outwards. Next, eyebrows are really important for me, so just to keep it really simple, I love the MAC brow set. Just clear gel, you literally brush your brows upwards, quick, easy. Next, I'm in love at the moment, Antonio, with Charlotte Tilbury's. So I'm going to start by applying the matte base from Charlotte Tilbury's palette, the sophisticated. Matte base, beige color is always a safe color to have on the lid, just to give you that kind of open up eyes, lift to the eyes. Next, so this is really important. If you only have a few seconds, I'm telling Antonia, curling the lashes makes such a big difference. It's instant eye-opening.
Oh, wow.
So literally you lift up and you just curl, instant eye
wow.
lift. And next, I'm going to be using my favorite mascara at the moment. It's the Dior Iconic Dior Show Blackout. It's amazing mascara because it's waterproof. It holds the lashes up, it doesn't bring them down. Next step I'm going to show you, Antonio, is contouring. Contouring is really important. These are all my clients are always asking me, oh my God, how can I make my face look narrower, less round? So you just apply this flat on the skin. After contouring, I would apply the highlighting for the inner corner of the eyes as well,
Wow.
where the light hits, and that's the instant eye opening.
Makes your eyes look fresh, I imagine.
Fresh, literally. Next, I'm using this soft pink blush. You just want kind of subtle, just so it looks a bit flush on the skin. Finally, we're gonna add some lip color. I'm in love with NARS at the moment for lips. So this is the look you can do yourself in literally 10-15 minutes. Skin is dewy, glowy, refreshed, got the skin, and you're ready to go.
The key to looking young is lovely looking skin, and one of the issues that many women seem to suffer from is cellulite and also sculpting the body to perfection. Whilst you might not want to have surgery or any other invasive treatment, we've come along and discovered quite an interesting little device. So tell us a bit more, ladies. What is this device? What's it called?
Well, the actual device is called Ultratone, and it uses biostimulation. And what it actually does is it uses two different types of systems. So we have the ultrasound, which disperses the fatty deposits from a particular area that the client is sort of conscious about. And then we have the Ultratone, and the Ultratone pads actually stimulates the actual fatty deposits out the lymphatic drainage system. So they urinate it out, and it leaves them feeling totally and utterly rejuvenated. It totally sculpts the area, so they have a more smoother and toner body shape after using a course of treatment. It really makes them feel really good about themselves afterwards. And that's what our whole service, Minerva service, is all about. It's actually looking good, feeling good, and actually thinking good as well. Because once you look it and you feel it, and the toxins are released from your actual body, you are able to project that to the society that you live in as well.
Finally, where can we find this amazing treatment?
Here in Michael John, also in Birmingham and in Harley Street. But for more information, check our website definitely.
And what is your website?
Our website is minervarejuvenation.com.
Oh, Denny, I don't really want to leave this place. It's just so gorgeous.
Should we just hang out here and get pampered then?
Shall we?
Yeah.
Okay. So, as you can see, in the quest for eternal youth, it's never going to be easy. It takes a lot of dedication to stay looking younger longer. It's about good food, fitness, and loving the skin you're in.
It's time for Cooking with Aliyah, and she's going to show us how to make Moroccan steamed chicken.
Hi, this is Aliyah and welcome back to Cooking with Aliyah, the show that brings to you the flavors of Morocco. Today I'm going to show you how to make Moroccan steamed chicken. You never thought about steamed chicken, but let me tell you, after this video, steamed chicken will take a whole different meaning for you. Steamed chicken is not only very healthy, but it is also super moist. When you steam the chicken, it keeps all the moisture in. It's amazing texture. But today we're going to make it super delicious with the Moroccan yellow charmoula that we use often for chicken dishes in Morocco. And of course, it's super easy to make. So, are you ready for all this yumminess? Yes, you are. Let's start. Many viewers ask me how to wash a chicken. Chicken has a little bit of an aftertaste if you don't wash it very well. The aftertaste in Morocco, we call it zfouria. So how to get rid of this zfouria? This is what we do. So you have your raw chicken here. You can wash it with salt. So I just take salt and put it all around the chicken, like this. And then I actually rub it. And I rub it very well, all the skin. And then I'm going to use half lemons. So I put the juice of the lemons and rub the skin on top with the salt with the lemons. You can also use a vinegar instead of lemon, so whatever you like, lemon juice or vinegar. And after you do this, you just wash with water. I usually use warm water. Here I'm putting it in a bowl, but of course when you're doing it at home, you do it in your sink. And you wash it multiple times like this. So I do it 2 to 3 times with the salt and the lemon and the water, and that's it. Once you wash the chicken, just dry it out with a paper towel, just like this. Next, we're going to truss the chicken with a thread to make sure that it's compact and it cooks evenly. Place the thread underneath the tail of the chicken. And on top of the legs, crisscross it. See? It's just going to be a simple crisscross. Then turn the left side thread around the leg on the right side and the right side thread around the leg on the left side. We can see that the legs are together. I'm going to put a knot here, and then I'm going to run the thread around the chicken. So you flip your chicken, and I'm just going to tie it here. And I cut the rest of the thread. Making the marinade is super easy. All you have to do is mix the ingredients together. So here we have spices. We have ground ginger, turmeric, salt, pepper, and a pinch of saffron. If you don't have saffron, because saffron can be expensive, it's okay, you can miss it. Then I'm going to add fresh lemon juice, yum, olive oil, garlic, and finally chopped cilantro. And that's it. Now mix all the ingredients together. This is called the yellow charmoula because of its color. It's yellow. In Morocco we have a yellow charmoula and a red charmoula. Red charmoula is made with paprika and it's usually used for fish, and yellow charmoula is made with turmeric and ginger and is usually used for chicken. I have some leftover cilantro and the lemon skin that we used for the lemon juice, so I'm just going to put it inside the chicken here. So just put the cilantro and stuff it with the lemons as well. In a large bowl, I'm going to put half of the charmoula, then put the chicken and cover it with the rest of the charmoula. And the goal is to make sure that all the chicken inside the skin and outside the skin is covered with this yummy mix of spices. Make sure that also inside the skin here, in between the skin and the meat, cover your bowl with a plastic wrap and place the chicken in the fridge for at least 1 hour to marinate. You can also make it the night before and let it marinate overnight. Oh yum, it will absorb all the flavors. Once you marinate the chicken, the next step is to steam it, and we're going to use a couscous pot to steam it because it's easy, and if you don't have a couscous pot, just use the steamer you have. In the bottom part of the couscous pot, we're going to add hot water. The reason we add hot water is to minimize the boiling time it takes to boil the water, so it goes faster. I'm also going to add 2 lemon halves, and there's 2 reasons why I do that. First, when you're just boiling water without ingredients in your couscous pot, it may get dark, so put the lemons so the pot doesn't get dark. And second, it will give nice flavors to the chicken. And that's it. So put this on high heat and cover the bottom part with the top part that has the hole where we're going to put the chicken. Once the steam starts coming out from the top of the couscous pot, now I'm going to put my chicken. So put the chicken in here, place the breast of the chicken in the bottom, right? And then put any sauce that you have on top. Cover the pot and let the chicken cook on this side for around 30 minutes on medium-high heat. After 30 minutes, flip the chicken to the other side and continue steaming it for another 15 minutes. After 45 minutes of steaming, the chicken should be ready. Place the chicken in a baking pan and brush it with a mixture of Dijon mustard and olive oil. I just mix them together. So brush it all over like this. Notice that the chicken breast is on top. And now we're going to put it in the oven and broil the top of the chicken until it becomes crispy and golden brown. Our chicken is ready, so you can serve it on a bed of rice or lettuce or even Moroccan style vermicelli. Check out my video on how to make it. It's delicious with the vermicelli. And I'm going to show you how tender this chicken is. Look at this. The meat is just going to start falling off. This is how tender chicken is. I'm just holding it here. Tender chicken is when it's steamed. It's amazing. I'm going to taste this for you. Oh my god, it's so tender. It's super moist. Look at the breast meat. Look. It's super, super tender. I love it when we have the crust because we roasted it with the mustard, yum. You can also serve it with a little mustard on the side with a little bit of salt and cumin. I mean, you can do whatever you want with this chicken. It's super healthy. You can make a sandwich of it the next day when it's cold. It's delicious. Look at this meat. It's amazing. With the pasta here, the noodles. Mmm. Oh, this is great. Mmm, delicious. I hope you give it a try because it's really good. And see you next time. Bon appétit.
We believe that the healing powers of yoga should be available to everybody. So today we'll be taking you through a vinyasa morning routine. Now vinyasa means breath synchronized movements. Yoga instructor Leslie Fightmaster is showing us how.
Hi everybody, it's Leslie Fightmaster. Today's class is a morning yoga class, and Nori asked me to do a morning yoga class. So these are some of the things that I like to do in the morning before I start my day. And I like to, whenever I have time, to begin with a pranayama. So this is called Agni Sara. So if you bend your knees and place your hands just above your knees and take a big breath in through your nose. And then you exhale everything out. Exhale, exhale, exhale. When you're totally empty, pull your belly in and up very strongly and just hold. Hold, 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 hold. And release it. And inhale. And again, exhale everything out. Exhale, exhale. When you're completely empty, draw your belly in and up very strongly, holding the breath out. So it's important when you draw the belly in and up that you're not breathing in. You're completely empty of breath. And release. Inhale. Exhale. Exhale, exhale everything out. Draw it in, draw it up, and hold. As you're holding here, also lift your pelvic floor for Mula Bandha, engaging the perineal muscles. Release, inhale. Exhale. Exhale, exhale everything out. Draw the belly in and up. So you can kind of see, if you look now, how much the belly is drawing in and up. So really got to lift it a lot so it's really hollowed out. Good. And release, inhale. And exhale. And hold your belly. Keep drawing the belly in and up as you hold. And release. So that's one round. Do about 5, holding the breath. About 10 seconds. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale the right arm down. Reach over toward the right side. Get a nice stretch through the side body. Inhale, arms reach, and exhale, the left hand down, reaching off to the left as you shift the hips over to your right. Inhale, the arms reach, and exhale, the hands back down for round 2 of Agni Sara breath. Take an inhale, and exhale everything out. Hold the belly in and up. So this is really good for digestion. It's also very good for toning the belly muscles. Release, inhale. Exhale, 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 exhale everything out and hold. And release, inhale. So nice big inhale. And exhale everything out. When you're totally empty, pull the belly in and up and hold. So again, you're not breathing in at all when you hold the belly in and up. You're holding the breath out. Release, inhale. Exhale. All the breathing's done in and out through the nose. Hold the breath in. Or draw the belly in, actually hold the breath out. And release, inhale. Exhale. Draw it in, draw it up, and hold. Release, inhale. And coming to standing. And then squatting down into Malasana. So toes point out a little bit, so knees and toes track. Sometimes you can do this with your feet parallel. I like this pose because it helps to lengthen out the spine, and especially if you spend a lot of time sitting in a desk during the day, this is a wonderful pose to lengthen out. If your knees aren't very happy with this, then don't sit down quite so low, or you could sit on a yoga block if you have one. Take a few long breaths here. And then slowly reaching up and lengthen. Exhale the hands down. Last round of Agnisara. Inhale. And exhale. Draw the belly in and up. Hold. Lift the perineal muscles as well. The chin is slightly in toward the chest for Jalandhara Bandha. So the bandhas are energetic locks. Release, inhale. Exhale it all out. And draw the belly in and up and hold. So this is a very strong Uddiyana Bandha with the belly lifted. And then if you add Mula Bandha, pelvic floor, Jalandhara, chin lock, exhale the breath. Inhale here. Exhale it all out until you're totally empty. And then draw the belly up strongly. So again, if you've got all of your locks engaged, then you're keeping the energy in the body. Release, inhale. Exhale it all out. Exhale, exhale, exhale till you're empty. Pull the belly in, pull it up, pause. And if you've got your energetic locks going first thing in the morning, it's a good way to start your day. And inhale. And exhale everything out. Once again, draw your belly in and up strongly. And just holding the breath out, engaging those energetic locks. Pelvic floor lifts, chin toward chest, belly. Release, inhale. And all the way up to standing into Samastitihi. Inhale and circle your arms out, around, and up. Exhale, hinge from your hips, folding forward. Inhale, make a flat back, look up. Exhale, and just step back into plank pose. And slowly lower all the way down to the floor. Untuck your toes. Inhale for Cobra Pose. Spin the inner thighs up toward the ceiling. Reach the tailbone toward your heels. And then back to the knees. Tuck your toes. Lift your hips. Down dog. Take a few breaths here. If you want to bicycle your legs or move up and down on your toes for this down dog, please feel free to. And keeping a nice steady breath. Inhale and come back down to your knees. And bring your heart forward, lift your chin, lift the tailbone up. As you exhale, round your back, chin toward chest, belly in. Inhale, bring your heart forward through the gates of your arms. Exhale, press down as you round the upper back, letting your head hang. And warming up the spine. Inhale to come forward. And exhale, tuck and round. Our cat-cow poses or Bidalasana. Inhale, coming forward, draw the shoulder blades down toward the waist, and exhale, dome into the upper back as you draw your belly up toward your spine. Walk the hands forward about a handprint, tuck your toes, and stretch again into downward facing dog. Gazing between your feet, inhale, float your right leg back and up. Exhale, step it up by the right hand. Take the left knee down to the floor. So low lunge, inhale the arms up, and sinking the hips. Drawing the belly, lengthen through your low back. And these poses are really good for the hip flexors to stretch out. Exhale the hands down. Inhale, straighten the front leg and lengthen. Exhale, fold over your leg for a hamstring stretch. So if you do spend a lot of time sitting in a chair, this is a great way to begin your day. Tuck the toes, step back, down dog. Inhale, left leg back and up. Exhale, step it through. Take your right knee to the floor. Inhale, reaching up. Spin your triceps in toward each other as you sink forward, pulling your left hip back and drawing your tailbone down, belly lifting in and up. As you sink your hips, you feel a nice stretch through the right quad and hip flexor. Exhale your hands down and straighten your front leg. Inhale, lengthen your spine, and exhale to extend forward, still pulling the left hip back. A couple breaths into the hamstrings. Rebend your front knee, tuck the toes, down dog. Stretching back. Come to plank on your inhale. Lift your belly, lift the backs of the knees, reach the crown of the head forward as you press back through your heels. And then holding, shift forward about an inch, lower halfway chaturanga. Inhale, press into up dog. If that doesn't work for you, take cobra pose. Exhale, downward facing dog. So modify your poses as needed, always protecting your body. Look forward, bend the knees, step or jump the feet. Inhale to flat back. Exhale, folding forward, bend the knees if needed. Inhale, root through the feet to rise all the way up. And exhale, Samastitihi. Inhale, arms circle up. Exhale, hinge from the hips, fold with a flat back. Inhale, lengthen, heart forward. Exhale, step or float back into chaturanga. Shoulders no lower than your elbows if you're in chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, back into downward facing dog. So we always want to take care of the body. If you experience any pain, just stop immediately. Look forward, step or jump the feet. Inhale, flat back. Exhale to fold. Inhale, press through the feet, lengthening up, and exhale, Samastitihi. Inhale again and reach. Exhale to fold in. Inhale, flat back, lengthen. Exhale, step or float, chaturanga. On your inhale, press through the hands and feet, roll the shoulder heads back, and then exhale to down dog. So moving through some Surya Namaskara A sun salutations. What better way to start your day than to salute the sun with sun salutations? They warm up your body, they give you some movement through the spine. Look forward, step or float your feet. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale to fold. Inhale, press down, rising up. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale again, reaching up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, create a flat back. Keep the gaze slightly forward as you exhale, step or float back. Inhale, press through your hands and feet. Exhale, and stretch back for downward dog. So always make sure in down dog the arms are shoulders distance apart, feet are hips width. Spread the fingers wide and root down into the base of your fingers as you lift away with your forearms so that you don't have as much pressure in your wrists. On your inhale, come to plank. And then down to your forearms for forearm plank. So warming up through the core muscles, the belly muscles, getting some awareness there. Make sure your elbows don't go wider than the shoulders here. Coming back up into plank and then back into down dog. Look forward and step or jump the feet. Inhale to flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, root down, reach up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Turn to your right and turn your right leg all the way out. Back toes in slightly into warrior two, making sure that your right knee is over your ankle and your knee is in line with the second toe. Drop your front hip down toward the floor. On your inhale, straighten the right leg, reach the arms up. As you exhale, bend into warrior two. We'll do this a few times. Again, we're moving the breath through the body, linking breath and movement to increase our energy levels for the morning. Inhale, straighten the leg and reach through the arms. Exhale and bend the knee over the ankle. Gazing over the fingertips. Back thigh is pressing straight back. And holding here for a moment. Inhale again to straighten. Another side, left leg out, back toes in. Exhale for warrior two. Dropping the left hip down, gaze over the fingertips as you lift your belly. Drop your front hip toward the floor. Inhale, straighten the leg, arms reach. Exhale and bend in. Keep the back inner thigh lifting up toward the ceiling. You can spin your inner thigh up toward the ceiling slightly. Inhale, arms reach, straighten the leg. Exhale, bend in, bend again to warrior two. So your feet are lined up front heel with back arch for this pose, and it's very important to make sure the knee stays over the ankle. Inhale, straighten, and take your feet to parallel with hands on hips. Look up and lengthen. As you exhale, fold forward. Inhale, come halfway up. Keep your right hand down and lift up through your left arm to twist. So as you inhale, get nice and long. As you exhale, stay where you are or take your right hand over towards your left foot, maybe even holding. Twisting a bit deeper. Now it's optional. You don't have to go that deep. Twisting, of course, is wonderful for the spine. Inhale to lengthen. Left hand to the center. Reach up through your right arm to twist. And again, lengthen on the inhale. Exhale, either stay where you are or left hand over toward right foot. And twisting in a bit deeper. Widening across the collarbones. My shoulder blades are moving in toward each other as I twist. Come back to center, lengthen the spine. Inhale. Exhale, hands to hips, and inhale, coming all the way back to center, and exhale to the front of the mat, Samastitihi. On the inhale, reaching up, and exhale to fold forward. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, step or float, chaturanga. If you do jump back, make sure to land right in chaturanga, although you never have to jump. Inhale into up dog, and exhale back to down dog. Right leg floats up, inhale, and exhale, step it through. Back foot is flat, and come into warrior two. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale to rebend. Inhale, straighten the right leg. Get a nice stretch through the side for reverse triangle pose. Next, inhale, arms to a T. Shift your hips back and lean forward. When you can't possibly lean out anymore, take your right hand down to the foot or shin and reach up through your left hand. Line up the shoulders with each other and stretch the crown of the head forward as you reach the tailbone back. Lean your torso over the front thigh and press weight into the base of the big toe. Look down at the foot. Inhale to come up. Switch your legs, left leg turning out, and then I remembered that we came in through vinyasa. So take the hands back to the floor and lower down. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Sorry, I got a little confused. Inhale the left leg up. Exhale, set it through. Back foot flat. You're lined up front heel with back arch into warrior two. Inhale and reverse your warrior. Even though I forgot, exhale, come back up. Reverse triangle pose and then into Trikonasana pose. Good. Lengthening forward. Press down into the base of the big toe of the left foot as you lean your torso over the thigh. Get nice and long through the torso. And breathing here. Look up at your hand unless it bothers the neck. And if it does, just look forward or down. Inhale to come back up. And then as you exhale, we'll windmill the arms back down and move through vinyasa. All the way down to the floor this time, clasping the hands. Inhale for Shalabhasana. So clasping the hands and squeezing the shoulder blades toward each other as you lift up. Spin the inner thighs toward the ceiling. Lengthen the tailbone towards your heels. Coming down and release. I like to do back bends in the morning because they are very, very energizing. So this is a nice way not only to keep your back healthy and strong, but also to keep some energy going. So the second one we do, clasp the other pinky on top. So you'll reverse the clasp and then lower to release. And then slide the hands by your rib cage and inhale to cobra or into up dog. Exhale all the way back into downward facing dog. And step or jump the feet. Inhale for flat back. Exhale, fold in. On your inhale, root down to rise all the way up. Exhale, Samastitihi. Inhale, bend the knees, Utkatasana, chair pose. Exhale, fold forward, hips over heels. Inhale for flat back. Exhale, step or float, Chaturanga. Inhale into upward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Sorry, up dog is Urdhva. Step your right foot forward, back foot is flat. Inhale, come all the way up into warrior one this time. So exhale and lower back down. Inhale and press through the hands and feet. We're moving through Surya Namaskara B. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, stepping the left foot forward and back foot flat, rise up, warrior one. Pull the left hip back, sending right hip forward. Exhale, lower right back down, hug your elbows in, one breath here. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Every movement has a breath in our Surya B. From here, taking a little rest in child's pose. Hips toward heels, and anytime you want to rest, please feel free to take it. Making our way back to down dog. If you're not ready, hit the pause button, come back when you are. Look up, inhale, come to flat back. Exhale, folding. And bend the knees, Utkatasana. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, Samastitihi. One more like this. Inhale, bend the knees, Utkatasana, chair pose. Exhale and fold forward. Inhale, make a flat back, keep the gaze forward. Exhale, step or jump back into Chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, downward dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. On your inhale, step your right foot up. Keep inhaling, come all the way into warrior one. One exhale as you step back and lower down. Inhale, keep inhaling into up dog. Exhale, stretch back to down dog. One inhale, left foot steps, back foot is flat, rise up. This is still the one inhale. And then exhale, one exhale as you lower down. Inhale and breathe into your up dog. Take the breath all the way up. Exhale and down dog. So sometimes when you are first working on these Surya Namaskara Bs, it's hard to stretch out the breath in that way. So if you keep practicing, we're in breath training practice when we do our yoga. So we're not only training the body and to get stronger and more flexible, but we're training the breath to lengthen. Look up, step or float the feet. Inhale, flat back. Exhale to fold. Inhale, bend the knees. Utkatasana, reaching up. Exhale, back to Samastitihi. Step or hop your feet hips width apart. Inhale to lengthen your spine. And exhale, folding. Take the big toes. Inhale, make a flat back. Exhale, and fold forward. And there's a lot of attention to the breath because we use the breath as a tool to keep the mind from wandering. So not only are we training the body for strength and flexibility, and training the breath for length. Inhale here, lengthen the spine, hands to hips, come all the way up. But we're also training the mind to stay more quiet. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale and fold forward. Inhale, lengthen, look up. Exhale, step or float, Chaturanga. Inhale and pressing up, open the front of your body. Exhale, make your way back, down dog. Inhale, float your right leg back and up. Exhale, step it through. And then this time we'll straighten the right leg. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, fold into a Parsvottanasana pyramid pose variation. So if it's hard to reach the floor, you can hold onto your ankle, or if you have a block, use that. If you're more bendy, walk your hands back, facing the fingertips toward the back of the mat. Then rebend your front knee, coming up into crescent high lunge. Arms to a T. Reach your right arm back and your left arm forward for a twist with your shoulders right over your hips. And then arms back up through center, stretch up tall, hands to your heart, and bring your left elbow across for a deeper twist. Pressing your palms in toward the center of your chest. Try and roll your top shoulder back, your right shoulder. If you want to go deeper for a couple more breaths, left hand to the floor, pinky toe side, right arm up. Keep reaching through the back leg and pulling the right hip back. Looking down to release. And coming back, moving through vinyasa, or feel free to always skip a vinyasa. You can hang out in down dog when you wait for the second side. Left leg up, inhale. Exhale, step it through. And straighten the front leg. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to fold. And again, stay there, or if you're a little bendier, walk your hands back facing fingertips toward the back. Or if you've got a block or two blocks, put your hands there or on your shin lightly. Stretch out the hamstrings as you pull the left hip back, pressing into the base of the big toe of the left foot. Rebend the front knee, coming up into crescent. Make sure that knee is over the ankle. Reaching up nice and tall, drop the tailbone, lift the front ribs in. Arms to a T. Bring your right arm forward, your left arm back for a twist with shoulders right over the hips. Open up the chest and reach through your arms as you breathe here. Inhale again to reach up and lengthen. Bring your hands to heart. Now the left elbow comes across, pressing your palms right in toward the center of your chest. Draw your shoulder blades down your back, widening your collarbones and reaching through the back leg. If you want to go a little deeper for the last couple of breaths, bring your right hand to the pinky toe side of your foot, reaching your left arm up. If that's too much, just stay with the other. And we'll lower down, chaturanga. All the way to the floor this time. Bend your knees, reach for the pinky toe sides of your feet, and we'll lift into Dhanurasana. So lift the inner thighs up toward the ceiling. Begin to reach your feet up and press them back. If this is too much, if you can't reach your feet, then stay with the locust pose, the Shalabhasana, where you're lifting your chest up and your legs, but you're not holding the feet. The legs are straight. Inhale up toward dog or cobra. Exhale back into down dog. And then to the knees. We'll take a couple more little back bends here. This is Ustrasana, camel pose. Bring the hands to the low back. Press your thighs and hips forward as you lean back. Lift your chest up toward the ceiling. Inhale and come up. So you can stay with that or tuck the toes under. Reach back for the heels. Press your thighs forward. Lift your chest up toward the ceiling. So imagine you're holding a block between the thighs here. And you can stay with either of those from before. If you want to go a little deeper, untuck the toes, reach for the heels, but then press the thighs and hips forward. Keep lifting chest up toward the ceiling. Lift your belly, drop your tailbone down toward the backs of the knees to create length. Inhale, come up both shoulders at the same time. Exhale, and take a child's pose. Take some nice long breaths here in your child's pose. Those back bends can be kind of invigorating. Your heart might be beating a lot, so try and just stretch out the breath. From here, walk your hands to the right, shifting hips over to the left for a nice side stretch again. I like to stretch the spine in all directions, especially in the morning. Inhale back to center. Exhale, walk the hands to the left as the hips shift off to the right. On the inhale, come on back to center. So I like to do a headstand or some sort of inversion in the morning, but if you don't do inversions, that's fine. Clasp your hands, take your elbows no wider than your shoulders, and press into dolphin pose. This is also an inversion. You just keep your feet on the floor. If you're going to go all the way up, crown of the head down, resting the head with the backs of your hands, and lift up into a headstand. So as you press down into your forearms, lift up your shoulders and widen across your shoulders there. Lift your belly and keep reaching the tailbone up toward the heels. With your legs, they want to be nice. You need them nice and active, so you're squeezing them toward each other as if you were holding a block between the thighs. Nice steady breath here. Anytime you want to come down, come down. Also, if you want to use the wall, you can take your hands all the way to the wall. So exhale, slowly begin to make your descent. So try and come down with control, pulling the belly in very strongly as you take your feet to the floor and then into a child's pose. So you can make your headstand longer as well, maybe working up to a longer hold as you continue your practice. Make your way back into down dog, so release your head and neck by lightly shaking your head, yes and no, moving it side to side. And then through chaturanga, inhale, back to up dog. Exhale, come to downward facing dog. Look up and step or float to seated. And then we'll cross at the shins. Either stay crossed at the shins or double pigeon the right shin on top of the left shin. It's a hip opener. So if shin on top of shin doesn't work, say I put my right shin in front of the left. Otherwise, shin on top of shin. Inhale, sit up nice and tall, lengthen. You might feel a good stretch there already in the hips. If you want it deeper, exhale and fold forward. Make sure that, especially if you have shin on top of shin, that your feet are flexed. So we want to try to get your ankles above your knees. So the right ankle is above the left knee and the left ankle is just below the right knee. Inhale and lift. We'll switch sides. Left shin on top of right. And then again, if that doesn't work, left shin in front of right. Either way, you're going to get a hip stretch. Flex both feet. Inhale, sit up nice and tall to lengthen. Either stay or exhale, walking forward. And stretching out the hips. So again, I think it's really, really important to stretch out the hips and the hip flexors where the thighs meet the hips, as well as the quadriceps, and the back needs to be strong. All of these things get compromised by sitting in chairs. So if you are one of those people that works in an office or sits a lot, these are great stretches to start your day. Inhale, stretch the arms up. Exhale, hinge from the hips. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale to extend forward for Paschimottanasana. And if you don't sit a lot during the day, these are still wonderful stretches and a great yoga sequence to start your day with. Inhale the head up. Exhale to release. So we're going to stop with the pranayama. First finger, second finger together. I'm going to take the thumb onto my right nostril. Inhale and sit up nice and tall. Breathe in the left. Hold both nostrils, holding the breath. Hold, hold, hold. And then we'll release the right nostril. Exhale everything out. Inhale through the right. Hold. So pressing the nose with the right thumb. All the breath is holding in. And then exhale the left. And inhale through the left side. Hold. You can engage your bandhas here. Lift your belly, lift the pelvic floor. The chin's dropping down toward the chest slightly. This is called Nadi Shodhana, or alternate nostril. Exhale, release. Releasing the right thumb. Inhale through the right nostril. And hold. Holding everything in. This is balancing out the energy in the body. Exhale the left. Inhale through the left. And hold it. Engage the bandhas. Belly, pelvic floor. Exhale right. Inhale right. And hold. Bringing the chin in for Jalandhara Bandha. So again, the bandhas are energy locks, keeping the energy in the body. Exhale through the left nostril. Inhale left. Hold. Bandhas. And exhale right. Inhale through the right and hold. Just holding the breath while you have it drawn in. Exhale left. And we'll release that. Slowly make your way onto your back. Take the arms to a T, knees off to the left. Look over the right shoulder. You can also cross right knee on top of left. So Nadi Shodhana does help to balance out the amount of oxygen that the brain receives. So it's a great pranayama for the morning or in the evening as well. Come back to center, give your knees one more hug, lengthen the tailbone down toward the floor, and then extend the legs out. Let your feet just flop open, arms by your sides with your palms facing up. Try and draw your shoulder blades down towards your waist and just relax here. Just a couple minutes today in our Shavasana. This morning, I would like to leave you with a quote from the Sufi poet Rumi. And I love this quote because it reminds us of our magnificence. Sometimes we do forget, so I'm going to remind you this morning. Rumi said, "You are not a drop in the ocean. You are the mighty ocean in a drop." And I hope that you can keep that with you today as you begin to make some deeper breaths. Start to make movements, reawakening your body. Stretch your arms overhead. And then roll off to the side for a moment. Press yourself up to seated, taking the hands to the heart center. Take a moment just to remind yourself again of your magnificence, all the wonderful things that make you who you are, and just honor yourself for all of your talents, your gifts, your beauty, your strengths. Inhale the hands to the forehead, reminding us to have clear and loving thoughts. Hands to heart, reminding us to have clear and loving intentions. Hands to mouth, reminding us to have clear and loving communications. Thank you for your practice.
Hello and welcome back to the show. How is the brain and the mind prepared to learn language? In our final segment for today, we'll be taking a look at two different studies, which is measuring the brain's neuroresponses of a baby when they are exposed to different languages. Take a look at this.
This is our newborn lab where we work with babies and their parents at Women and Children's Hospital. We love to interact with babies just as soon as they're born or very shortly thereafter, because it gives us an opportunity to see how the brain and the mind are prepared from birth to learn language. In our studies, we look at a number of aspects of language processing in little babies, and it's really quite remarkable. So we'll be showing you two different studies. And in one of the studies, we measure the neural responses, the responses in the brain when babies are listening to one type of sound versus another.
Gracias por haber sido tan bueno, dijo. He estado atrapado aquí miserablemente desde que cayó el árbol.
This particular study was designed by Lily May, one of my PhD students, in collaboration with other students in the lab and a previous postdoc, Judith Gervain.
So what we did with the newborns is there's this great new technology that we're using. It's called near-infrared spectroscopy, and it's a neurological measure. It lets us get an idea of what sorts of brain activity are going on. And essentially how we do this is we put sensors on the baby's head, and what these sensors do is they shine light into the baby's head, and through that we get a sense of blood flow and of brain activity.
Basically, the spectrum of the light that we pick up on the sensors lets us know whether there has been change in activity in different areas of the brain. Very safe technique. It's very much like the pulse oximetry in a hospital or at a doctor's office, and they want to see how well you're oxygenating your blood, and they put this little clip on your finger and you can see the red. It's a similar technique that we use just to see how active the brain is.
And so we can get an idea of where in the brain and how in the brain the babies are excited or interested about listening to different things. And what we do is we play them sentences or segments of language, of both the familiar language and of unfamiliar language, and we look at their brain response to those two different languages.
The imp sprang straight up into the air. Mil gracias por haber sido tan bueno, dijo.
This technique can be done when babies are sleeping, because newborn babies are listening to the world around them even when they're asleep. They're learning about language, they're learning about familiar voices, and you can detect that in a sleeping newborn.
We're interested in how babies' brains respond to language just right soon after they're born, even a few hours after their birth, whether or not their brain responds similarly to all languages, whether they enter into the world ready to learn any language they're given, or whether or not their brains respond specifically to the language that they were hearing during the pregnancy. So we know that babies actually hear quite well during the pregnancy, especially during the last 3 months. Their mother's voice is very loud, and they can pick up on a lot of things about language during the pregnancy. We know that they can remember the patterns of stories that they've heard during the pregnancy after they're born, and we know that they tend to prefer the rhythm of their mother's language after they're born. So what we're interested in this study is how their brain responds to this language, whether or not their brain is responding more to the mother's language, to the rhythm and the structure and the sounds of their mother's language, or whether or not their brain is going to respond similarly to both that language and to unfamiliar languages. So we're going to put one sensor over the right side of his head and one sensor over the left side of his head, and we're going to be monitoring his brain activity to different sounds, different languages. And so one of these sensors will get an idea of what's going on the right side of his brain, and the other one will get an idea of what's going on the left side of his brain. I'm just going to check on the machine to make sure we've got good activation. So what's going to happen is I'm just going to play different languages. So we're going to hear English and we're going to hear Spanish, and the whole time on this machine we're going to be monitoring what's going on in his brain. Essentially, we think babies know a lot about the rhythm of language when they're born. They don't know that much about sounds of language, but the rhythm is really important.
The imp sprang straight up into the air, joyfully twirling his tail.
Yes, you guys hear that's different? I got the Spanish going on. So we're looking to see whether or not, even though he's just 2 days old, his brain can tell the difference between those languages.
Pero, ¿sabes una cosa? Eres un inútil.
In the second study, we're going to look at very different things using a very different procedure. Rather than testing how the brain responds to language itself, we're going to look at how babies, even newborn babies, respond to the particular attributes of language. And here, what you're going to be seeing is a baby listening to two different vowels, E and U. And what we want to know is if babies can hear the difference between those two vowels. And what we've shown in previous work, and a lot of other people have shown as well, is that at birth, babies seem ready to learn the sound system of any of the world's languages. They discriminate the consonants, like ba and da. They discriminate vowels, like ba and bo. And here we're looking at two vowels, E and U. And we're also looking at whether the movements the baby makes while listening influence the way that they hear. Rather than just measuring what the brain does when the baby's passively listening, here the baby has to make a response themselves. So we use a procedure called high amplitude sucking. And we give the baby an opportunity to suck on a pacifier that's connected to a computer, and every time the baby gives a suck that's a strong suck for them, they get to hear a sound.
E. E.
So as he's sucking, it changes the pressure inside of the soother. When he stops, the sound will stop too.
E.
He's making that happen.
And this shows that even a newborn baby will change their behavior in order to hear or see something. What's really neat about this procedure in comparison to the last one is that whereas in the last one the baby could be asleep, here the baby needs to be awake and needs to be in this state that we call quiet alert. In that period is when a baby is most able to learn. So we need them in that state in our procedure, but mothers and fathers can know that when they are able to make their baby comfortable, they're fed, they're clothed, they're feeling safe, that they can get into that quiet alert state, and that's when they learn about the world around them.
What we're researching with 4-month-old babies in this lab is how they're learning about categories in their world. And so something that we're really interested in looking at is what they're doing with the language that they're hearing around them before they start learning words. And so this is before the first year of life. They're learning lots about the things that they see in the world and sort of how that interacts with the things that they're hearing in the world. And what we're trying to figure out is whether or not they're picking up relationships between these two forms of information before they're actually learning labels for things. So one of the challenges in infant research is devising ways to figure out what babies know without them having to say anything to us, because when you're dealing with preverbal infants and even older infants, it's hard for them to communicate these things. So what we do is we actually measure looking time, and what we're doing is we're showing them images and have sounds paired with them, and we measure how long they look at these images.
Code. Neat. Neat.
So by measuring their looking time across the study itself, we can learn about whether or not they're becoming more interested in the stimuli, so they might look longer in those cases. They might become bored of the stimuli, which they would decrease their looking time or, completely lose their attention. And if we, at the end of the study, present a brand new stimulus, we actually expect an increase in looking time. So it's something brand new and they're like, oh, I've never seen that before, I've never heard that before.
So we've come to the end of the show. Remember to follow your bliss and live your passions. Thank you so much for watching, and do join me next time. Take care and be well.